This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, guys. We'll get started. So yesterday, day before yesterday, and the last three sessions, we talked about fundamentals. So now we'll get into the actual requirements management. So you already know the fundamentals, how to log into your Azure DevOps portal and different areas of Azure DevOps. Okay, like boards, repos, etc. And you also seen high level info about your permissions and organization settings and project settings. Okay, now we straight away get into the requirements management. Okay, this is the first phase of any project, right? And we have to automate this requirements management phase. Okay, this you do it by using Azure Boards. Okay, automation of your requirements management. So for that, what I'm going to do, so I always take some live examples for this one. So we named our application as an online travel app, right? So the best example will be Make My Trip. Okay, because everybody knows it at least once you used it, right? So definitely you understand what you have here. So what you have in your Make My Trip, I mean, if you roughly look at it here, so you have this landing page. Okay, in this landing page, you have a different options like you can log in, or without login also you can search for flights, you can search for hotels, trains, buses, whatnot. Whatever is here you can do it. So basically you have some search functionality, and then from here you will go to the booking, right? During the booking it may ask you, it will give you two options, either as a guest or a login account. You have to create an account and do the payment. And there are many things, right? You give the if it is international, you will give passport details and your family history, everything. And if you are a domestic, it will only ask some proof and then your details. That's it. It will book the ticket. So those are all the requirements at high level in your online travel app. That is Make My Trip. So how do you automate these requirements? What do you mean by automation first of all in the requirements management? It's not a coding, right? So what I mean here by automation is that rather than maintaining all these requirements in Excel or in some other format, like can be Word, it can be email, anything, and asking each and every team member to work on it and track that progress manually via emails or via Excel, it can be anything, right? So if you are doing all these things manually, you call it as a, uh manual uh, manual way of working, very traditional, right? You have to automate it so that you will have a better traceability. That means you know who is working on what, and what requirements are belonging to what feature. Let us say flights is a feature for me, will hotels is a feature for me, buses is a feature inside your Make My Trip, right? Under each feature, again, let us say under flights feature, I have a search functionality. Okay, and after I have a booking flight functionality, and I have a what is a family or a customer information functionality. These are the functionalities within flights feature. Similarly, you have a trans buses as well. Okay, I'm just trying to give you the parent child relationship of your requirements here. Okay, let me open my Excel. So this is how it looks like, right? You have a landing page, and then you have a, I just listed out the functionalities that are there on your Make My Trip: flights, hotel management, and then train management. After that, I mentioned search for flights, book flights, under basically that comes under flight management. If you see search for hotels, book hotels, that comes under hotel management. Search trains, book trains comes under train management. Again, you have a you need to have the UI design, I mean HTML content, and then DB development. If API is required, API development. These three are required at minimum for each of these features, right? Like a search for flights, book for flights, etc. You need at a minimum DB development, UI development, and API development. Okay. Likewise, you have the user profile feature. login page. Once I click on login, it will go to login page. Once I successfully authenticated, I will go to the home page. These are the requirements at very high level. Okay, and your project manager will start doing tracking these requirements from Excel sheet or some other way by assigning it to the resources. Of course, he will have a start date, end dates, etc., blah, 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 everything in Excel. Okay. Of course, it cannot be shared. It cannot be, shared means it's a it's a one place basically. If it is gone, it is gone. And it is not shareable to anyone else. Okay. And he has to send emails manually, right? And nobody knows what's happening except him. So these are all the issues. And if you have 20, 30 people or 15 people, it's very difficult to manage all these things in Excel. Okay, that's where people lose the momentum. People don't know what's happening where. And also it doesn't have any email functionality, right? As soon as it is completed or started, you don't have any notifications. So how do you track it? All these come under tracking purpose. Tracking methodology. So we're going to automate all these areas. Okay. How do you do that? First, let's get into our Azure DevOps portal. You can log into portal.azure.com. From there, you can search for Azure DevOps organizations. Once you click it, you will come to the dev.azure.com link. Rather than that, you can directly say dev.azure.com. Guys, you don't sign up for today because our classes go for more than a month. Okay, approximately I would say 1 month, 1 week or 10 days. So your portal.azure.com subscription comes for 30 days and you need to work on many services there as part of our Azure DevOps. Okay, if you create it today, towards the end you will not have the ability to do administration on the Azure cloud. Of course, Azure DevOps you have access for 90 days, but if you have to deploy something, you need again Azure cloud resources, right, like a VM or etc. So I suggest you somewhere in the mid of next week you can sign up for Azure cloud. Does it make sense for you? The reason I am saying you can learn it with your free credit rather than money from your wallet.
Yeah, got it, Puma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to. So I am here, right? This is my e-commerce organization. Let me get into online travel organization. So I explain what is this organization. The organization could be individual business units in your client organization, or it can be individual verticals, or yeah, there can be only one business unit for the entire organization itself. Depends on the complexity of your organization, right? Size of your organization. Because each business unit will have a number of projects, right? You need to group them for the billing purpose or tracking purpose. That's the reason we create the organization. Okay, that's the only thing. Now, under my online travel organization, I have an app application called online travel booking app. Okay, so under this project, I will have a number of features, that is Azure Boards for requirements management, Azure Repos for code management, etc. So first, let's get into the requirements management. Let's click on this. Let's go to the boards. The first thing that you have to do is you have to have the requirements, right? Let's get in. So how do you create a requirement? Guys, as I told you, though you are a DevOps engineer, you will be asked to do it, or you have to teach the people to do it, how to do it, because this is a new tool, right? And it will be your responsibility. That's the reason you need to know it. And the other thing, all these come in your X certification as well. Okay. So let's click on a new work item. You see work item. When it's a new work item, you have a number of things here: bug, epic, feature, impediment, right? You really don't know where to start from, right? Obviously, no, everybody knows you will not start from bug, but the other things you don't know, right? So there should be a parent-child relationship, right? Of course, in the menus you can't show that, okay, easily. But how do you start it? So let me explain first that parent-child relation. Okay. So when you see here, we are using the Scrum-based template here because our project is following Scrum-based methodology. Okay. which is one of the agile methodologies. So you see all these things. And if you use other template like agile, etc., you will see a little change in the available work items in the new work item dropdown. Okay, first let's see those changes and then get here so that you will understand. This we talked about it. We'll be doing it in a minute. Okay. So when you created a project, you remember we selected Scrum template from the dropdown, and another dropdown we selected is a Git as a version control. Okay. So what you should understand, you need to know this epic feature, user story, or PBI means product backlog item, tasks, bugs, issues, or impediments. These are the things that what I shown you in the in our web page, right? In the drop down, new work item. These are all called work items. All these things are work items, but each and everything is having a different meaning. Though each and everything is a requirement, but they have a different meaning. Okay. So work items relationships in Scrum methodology. This is how it looks. So Epic is the parent, and then it contains a number of features as a child. Okay. At this level, we call it as a portfolio backlog. We talk about this portfolio backlog, etc. But let's understand that we have a Epic, which is a parent, and it will have a number of features that, and each feature will have a number of product backlog items, and each product backlog you will have a number of tasks. So if you see here, the task is the leaf level element, and the Epic is the parent level, the root actually. So Epic, number of features under the Epic, number of product backlog items under feature, and number of tasks under product backlog. This is the relationship. And when you implement or when you develop these requirements like a task, I mean, when you are implementing a couple of tasks, that means you are implementing a product backlog item. When you implemented a number of product backlog items, that means you completed a feature. When you completed a number of feature, it means that you completed an epic. This is how you can speak about. Okay, product backlog item and task. When you implement or develop and give it for testing, you will get the bugs, right? So the testing people will raise the bugs. Those bugs can be attached to a task or product backlog item level. So the bug can be associated with any one of these levels, product backlog or task. And you have something in a Scrum methodology that is impediment. Impediment is nothing but some risk sets, so you can keep it in that one. So these are all categorization. Now you see this parent child hierarchy, right? If I go, I will mimic the same thing in our Excel sheet. Okay. Now you see, what did I hear? I have a landing page, and this is my epic. Landing page is nothing but your, this is a landing page. Whenever you access a URL, wherever you go, that we call it as a landing page. Under landing page, I have many features here, right? That's what I just mentioned here for a live example. I have a flight management, hotel management, cab management. I made the type of these requirements are features. You see the feature. And who is the parent for this feature? The landing page. Landing page, what it is? It is an epic, right? You can see here. And under that, I have a search for flights, book for flights, search for hotels, book hotels. These are, I'm having these things, okay? What are these? Product backlog items, okay? These are the product backlog items. And you see, search for flights, product backlog item belonging to the flights management. And book flights belong to the flight management. Similarly, search hotels, book hotels. they belonging to the hotel management, flight man. Sorry, this is not a flight. This is a hotel. And the last two are search for trains and then book trains. These belong to these two are product backlogs, and these product backlogs comes under what is that? Train management. So that's how I created an Excel with the parent-child relation for the tracking purpose. After that, I have the tasks. The first two tasks are three tasks: UI design for flights, DB development for flights, API development for flights are tasks. That means a developer will go and take this task and do the development, means coding. DB developer writes stored procedures, tables, whatnot, and API developer creates the APIs, develop the APIs, and the UI developer will develop the UI at a high level. And these tasks are connected with the search for flights feature. You can see this is the search for flights, right? And similarly, you will have the similar task for the book flights as well, because you will have a different UI pages, right? So, but the intention here is not to give thousands of requirements in this sheet, but the intention here is to explain you uh, how the requirements are managed in Scrum-based methodology and what are the different requirement types. Okay, you got it now. What is an epic, feature, product backlog, and task? It's just a parent-child hierarchy. Task is the leaf, and epic is the root. If you have any doubts, you can let me know so that we can move on. Okay, let's move on. And so here I'm talking about requirement type, etc. Right? But if you go here, if you go to your Azure Boards, everything is called as a new work item basically. And under this work item, you have all these different things. So let me give you some terminology. Terminology is very important. If you don't know terminology, then people think you don't know. Can you think about it? So the terminology that you need to understand is so be it these are all the requirements, right? For the requirement, you have another synonym that is called work item. The work item is the generic technical term that you use in any requirements management tool. Here our requirements management tool is Azure Boards. Here also you call it as a work item. And another term that people use is product backlog. These are all interchangeable words. Okay, when somebody says user story or product backlog or work item or requirement, all are same. I would say these are the synonyms, interchangeably usable words. Okay, and the other one is requirement type, which is nothing work item type. Okay, here what are the different types you have? Epic, feature, product backlog, task. Okay, epic, feature, product backlog, task. These are the four different requirement types you have. The other ones are bugs and requirements. They come under testing. Okay, you need to understand these synonyms. Now let's get back to your work items. Let's create a work item. Now you understand you have to start with the epic because this is a parent. Let's create an epic. I will not enter all of these requirements what we have here. I will enter one set like epic, feature, product backlog, task. Okay, so that I can continue with the sessions rather than just entering. Now first I need to enter the epic, right? Let me take a epic here, landing page, landing page. And after that, you have a number of things available here, like who you need to assign this to, and then what is the state of the epic. Is it a new? So for the first time it will be new, later it will be changed. Okay, and then it is saying what is the reason for creating this epic, what's the area that this epic should be in, and what is the iteration. Iteration is nothing but a sprint. In which sprint you want to implement this epic, because for an application it will not be one epic, right? There will be a number of epics. Okay, so that's the reason I mentioned another epic here at the bottom called home page. Once you log in, you will have another set of requirements. So you can call it as another epic here. Okay. And then you have a number of things, the description, acceptance criteria. That means once the developers developed it, the testers start testing it, right? So there should be some acceptance criteria to make it fail or successful. That's the reason you have this acceptance criteria. And of course, people keep discussing about this requirement, right? Then that's the reason you have this discussion box where, in WhatsApp you give at the rate, then you will get all the names, right? All the names of your group or your contacts. In the same way, here also you can use at the rate, and then start typing the person name, right? Then it will auto populate those names like WhatsApp. Okay, so that the email will be triggered to that person immediately. The same way in the WhatsApp, if you are in a group, okay, if you want to target to one person, you say at the rate and then name, right? It will be alerted to that person. In the same way, you have the option here as well. Of course, WhatsApp borrowed the concepts from here, I would say. This is earlier. And then you have a start date, end date, and details section. You have the priority. I mean, is it high or low, etc. But it is by number, effort, how many hours it will take. It's in the hours. Okay. And the business value, it is a free test. Basically, management will define it. Whether it can be a number, it can be anything. And the criticality, how critical it is. Based on the criticality, they will develop it in uh, uh, the first sprint or in the last sprint. It depends on. And then we have another one, business value array. Is it a business requirement or it is related to architecture? Architecture means it can be design or architecture, it can be anything. Okay. And on the left hand side, you will see a lot of things like a deployment, development, related work, etc. These things we'll look into this later as we move into the CI/CD pipeline. Okay. Now we started with the landing page. I'm not doing any one of these things. Okay, let's go and just save it. Okay, I created an epic. If I go back to the work items, you see an epic here and nothing is done, just enter. And you can identify your work items by using these logos as well. I would say legend. This is a crown symbol. Okay, now I can go and add another epic as well. Let's add that epic so that you will have a good feel of it. Home page, right? Let's go and add another. Again, I'm not doing anything, just entering title. That's it. Now each epic will have a number of features, right? All these are requirements on it. Let's enter those features. As a flight management. Click on new work item, click on feature, which is a cup symbol. Just yes. This been saved. Go back to work items. Now I see flight. But how someone knows that this flight management feature is a child of landing page, or this flight management feature comes under landing page? If it is a couple, people may guess it, but if you have 100, you cannot do it, right? That means you need to associate this flight management. Associate, you can call it as associate, you can call it as a linking. Okay, whatever it is. You need to link this feature with its square end, nothing but its epic. How do you link it? You can link during the creation of the work item, or after the creation of the work item as well. By mistake, if you haven't done during the creation of the work item, you can simply open this feature. Then there is an option here called related work. Okay, on the right hand side bottom, click on this add link and you say existing item. Okay, so this is your work item and link item type is child, and you go and search for Epic landing page. Now you see you are adding flight management feature as a child to your landing Epic. If you want to give some comment, you can give. That's okay. Let's say okay. Now here also you can see under flight management, it is showing it is a child of landing page. At the bottom you can see. So this is how you can associate. Save the changes. I did not save it. Now in this view, it will not show you that hierarchy. There is another view, we can see it. Okay. Now let's go and add other two features as well, hotel management and cab management. Now this time, rather than create so you will have the new work item options from multiple places. You can add it from anywhere. So now what I do, let's do it from here itself, feature, and this is hotel management. So during the creation itself, I will mention who is the parent or to which epic it belongs to. Again, the same thing. You come to this related work, existing item, and then you select landing page. Work item 1 as a parent link. Sorry. We're going in a different way, right? Okay. So don't worry, it will not allow you. When I open after creation, if I am trying to link, I have to select it as a child. If I am doing it during the creation, I have to select the link type to which, based on this description, you need to understand. You are adding a link from. Okay. That's okay. It will not allow you to make mistake. Okay. Now click on OK. Now it is saying hotel management is a feature and its parent is landing page. Just save it. I'm not doing anything other than that. Okay. Hotel management. And finally, we'll make one more feature, that is a cab management. So you can do, you can directly, you can do like this as well. Open landing page epic, and in the related work item, you already see these things. Add link, add existing item. So if you are adding a link from landing page, child type, sorry, not existing item, you need to add a new item. I'm just trying to show you what are the different ways you can create a work item and add it to your, I mean, associate it with your parent. This is a feature, right? Change the task to feature, I mean, work item, and give the type. When you do this, when you say click OK, you will come to the same page when you click on a new work item. Only the navigation is changing. Okay, again, you see cab management and its parent is hotel landing page. And you simply say save and close. So did you understand now how there are different ways to associate your child with its parent? Here, feature is a child to Epic, product backlog item is a parent child to feature, task is a child to product backlog. And new work items, you can open any and click on add link, new item or existing item, or wherever you see this new work item, you can go on it. Okay. Now let's go and enter product backlog item because we added Epic's features. And that product backlog item, I'll take it from here, search for flights. Okay, and simply say save it. Go back, add one more one, book flights. Again, it is a product backlog item. Just okay. So that's okay. I have two product backlog items are enough. Or if you want more, I will add more as well. It will be easier. I mean, it will make you comfortable in terms of visualization. Let's make it. Search for flights. Just save it. There is an intention for not filling other details. We'll explain after. So I have a good number of 4 product backlog items, 3 features, and 2 epics. That's a very good number. Let's go and add. Okay, you haven't done association, right? So book flights, all these product backlogs are not linked with its parent, means not associated. How do you associate? So it's again same. You can open a feature or a product backlog item and go to the related thing. Let us open search for flights and go to the related work. Click on the add link. You are linking existing item and which to which you want to associate. You want to associate with flight management because this is for search for flights. Okay, now it is showing its parent is flight management. Yeah. So this is how you can do it for others as well. Let us say search for hotels. This is another one under flight management. Come here, search for. It will almost. I mean, if you have more number, then you can. I mean, do typing so that you know it will reduce the narrow down the search results. Okay, flight management. Sorry, this is a hotel I selected. Then you have to select the hotel. It's already associated. Search for hotels. It should be a hotel. Work item 4 has already a parent link, so a new one cannot be added. What is this? Did I add it already? Search for hotels, right? Existing item. And this is a product backlog. You need to select the hotel. Yeah, okay. Just save it. Let's not do a lot. Let's add a task. I mean, the last one, the task. Okay. I will select first 3 tasks, which comes under search for flights. Okay, let's select this and then say task. The UI will be same. The feature, I mean, the relevant options will be same. Only the thing is the item type will change and some features will, some fields will change here. That's it. But the way you associate between different work items will be same. There won't be any difference. Okay. Then DB development. All these things comes as a questions in your certification if you want to do, as I explained. That's it. We are good. Now I have a set of requirements for all the requirement types: epic, feature, product backlog item, task. Okay. Of course, I haven't associated these things. We'll associate because you already know it. What do we have? So what we created is a list of requirements. I would say a bucket list of requirements. Okay. You have a term for this bucket list of requirements in Scrum methodology. You call it as a product backlog, or it depends on the complexity. You can call it as a product backlog or portfolio backlog, but most of the people, or 100% of the people, use it as a product backlog, because end of the day, it is, whether it is a portfolio level, is it at the application level, it is a backlog. So what we have is a product backlog, a list of requirements from the business analyst or the business owner. That's it. Okay. This is the first step in your Scrum methodology. Okay. So now let me explain you what is a Scrum methodology. Okay. I'm going to show you the entire Scrum methodology in a single slide. Okay. So guys, nowadays each and every company uses a Scrum methodology, so you need to understand it. Otherwise, you will become dumb when you go to the meetings. Okay. So how does Scrum work? So on the left hand side, you see it starts with a product backlog, means a list of work items or requirements or user stories from a business analyst or a business owner, whoever is sponsoring this project, right? So it starts with the product backlog. That's where we are. That's the stage we are in our Azure boards as well. We created a list of work items and nothing is being done. Okay, that is called product backlog. And in the bottom, you see you will have a three roles predominantly in your Scrum methodology. That is a product owner, Scrum master, and team member. Product owner, who is responsible for the creation of all the requirements. Of course, he will get it done by some other people, but he is the owner. He will review the requirements, etc. Scrum master, he is the person who facilitate all the meetings between the team members. It can be kickoff meeting, it can be day-to-day meetings between people for the collaboration, whatever it is. He is a facilitator, Scrum master. Team member is a role again in your Scrum methodology. A team member can be your DB developer, your API developer, or UI developer, or he's a DevOps guy. He can be anything. Everyone is called as a team member in Scrum methodology. Now we are at this product backlog. So you have 100 requirements, let us say. You will not develop all the 100 requirements in one go and give it for testing in order to move it to the production, so that end users will. You will not do it in Scrum methodology. You will do piece by piece. Basically, people plan it. Okay. In the first sprint, I will develop 5 requirements. In the second sprint, I will develop 10 requirements. In the third sprint, I will develop another 4 requirements. Like this, people plan it. How they plan it? Based on the availability of the resources, like how many developers are available, how many testers are available. Based on that availability of the resources. The other one is based on the time availability. Let us say if you are a product owner or a client comes and says, hey, you have 100 requirements. I want this all these 100 requirements to be completed in 1 month. Okay, then obviously people will increase the number of people uh, and then get it done in 1 month. Of course, whether it fails or successful, it doesn't matter, right? This is a process. Okay. So the bottom line here is that you will develop the features and give it for testing in phases. That phase is called a sprint. Sprint, another name is iteration. If you see in our work item template, you call it as a iteration, that drop down. The another word is a sprint. Okay. Now, in order to develop, in order to give those requirements for the team members for the development or test cases, etc., you need to plan it, right? That you call it as a sprint planning. That is a sprint planning, and this process will continue. Sprint planning will continue for each and every iteration. Once you plan it, then you will get a small subset of the requirements into your backlog. Means you will not develop all 100 requirements. You will only take some 10 requirements. These 10 requirements that is going to be developed in a particular sprint, you call it as a sprint backlog. So you understand, sprint backlog is a subset of requirements from the product backlog where nothing is being assigned. Here you have some subset of requirements, 10 requirements, which are assigned to the people, and the effort estimation is also done by the team members. Okay, let us say this requirement takes 2 days, this requirements take 10 days, 3 days, etc. That kind of planning will also happen. So end of this sprint planning, you will have the sprint backlog. It happens in 1 or 2 hours, and the people will start doing the development. So we will stop here. We will go to the next part after we doing the first part. Let's do the sprint planning. Okay, for the sprint planning, the prerequisites are, you need to define the sprints, right? How many sprints you need, okay? What is the start date and end dates for your sprints, etc. You need to do that. And also you need to have the team members, right? So it's not Excel sheet now, right? You can simply go and add a name in the Excel sheet and do it. That's a manual, right? You need to define the teams in the tool. You need to add the members to the teams, and you also need to add the sprints, like sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3. And then you can go ahead and do the planning. Planning nothing but assign the requirements to a sprint and then assign the requirements to the team member. Any doubts here? Okay.
Puna, one question,
Uh,
Puna.
yeah.
Hello.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, is sprint backlog also known as iteration, or is it different?
Yeah, these are the synonyms. Sprint or iteration are the synonyms technically, but people use a sprint backlog or sprint or iteration. They use it interchangeably. Some people say, "Hey, which iteration you are in?" Some people will say, "Which sprint you are in?" Those are interchangeable. But sprint backlog, most of the people use to this the same term, sprint backlog only. They don't use iteration backlog. I mean, it's been people are been using like that. That's why people are also used to that one. So it is a sprint backlog. It's not iteration backlog. But if you talk about sprint and iteration, they are interchangeable. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Now let's do that sprint planning and prerequisites. You need the teams, you need the members, and you need the number of sprints configured. These are the minimum prerequisites. So for that, let's go to our work items. Where do you do all this configuration, this setup? These are all related to the project, right? So you have to go to the project settings. Go to the project settings. Okay. First, we'll set up the teams here. Go to the teams. Right now, see, whenever you create a project, right, by default, one team will be created with the name of the project. You see, online travel booking app team. Okay. So this is by design. Okay. Now let's go, and the logged in user by default is a member of the team. Okay. Let's go and create a new team first. So I say the team will be say, .NET. So I will say .NET development team. I don't have any members now other than me in my organization. I will leave it. I will do it later. I'll say you can. This is optional. Okay. So it includes UI also, right? UI or whatever it is. And then who is administrator for this team? Purnak. I mean, is the logged in user. And what are the permissions for each and every team? You can set up permissions. So by default, it will give the permission like a contributor permission. Contributors is a group name. If anyone is part of that contributor group, that means he will be able to edit the requirements. He will able to create the requirements as well. That's called a contributor. There are other groups as well. These are the default groups which contain some permissions. But for the time being, you understand that you are adding this person to the contributors group. Okay, you can do this. And also there is one more checkbox. create an area path with the name of the team. I told you area paths are for the reporting purpose. Let us say, as I told you, how many requirements are in the new stage in the .NET development area. How many requirements are completed in the UI development area. So that's how you speak. And for that reason, we are creating an area path with the name of the team. The name of the team is .NET. When a path is created, the name of the path will also be the .NET. That's what it is. Just say create. Okay, the team is being added. Let's go and add another team. This team I call it as a database. Okay, now I'm not explaining these things. I already explained this contributors, right? Let's go and create. Click on create. See? Database development. Let's go and create another team. Okay. API. Team to develop APIs. Like this, you will have a number of teams. Okay. We'll add the team members later. Okay. Now I created a number of teams. The next requirement is, next prerequisite is to have the sprints configured, right? How many sprints are required to develop this application. For that, you go to the project configuration. Under project configuration, by default, a number of iterations are created for you. As I told you, iteration or sprint are interchangeable words. Okay. By default, your Azure DevOps keeps 6 sprints available for you. If you want to add another sprint, very simple. Go and click on this parent and then click on new child. And you say print 6. I'm not giving start date and date and the location. This is under online travel booking app. Yes, this is great. Okay, you can't edit. Save and close. This is all. What did you say? Your changes could not be saved. Okay, I given sprint 6. That's the reason. Say sprint 7 because sprint 6 already exists. Okay. Now what you need to do? You need to set the dates as part of your planning. So I set the date as a start date and end date, right? Say I will say it will start July, right? This is a July. I would say it will start from next Monday and give. Generally, sprints will be 2 weeks duration. That's the ideal in any company. So I'll take it as a 24. Save and close. And I will spread the dates for the sprint 2 as well. Just select. See, it automatically knows. It is intelligent, Azure DevOps. The previous sprint is up to 24th. When I open this dates functionality to set the dates for sprint, it automatically kept the trigger, pointed at the 27. Because by default, sprint is for 2 days. Okay. Select it. Sorry, this is a start date. Okay. Why it is July, right? 27. And the end date will be, it automatically selected DC from 27 July, right? 2 weeks. It went to the August 7. Say 7 close. So now you already set up 2 sprints. You planned it actually, start date and end dates. Okay. You are done. We'll do it other things later, just for what do you say? Just for practice. And then go to the areas. So you see, you already have the areas here: API area, database area, .NET area, and API area belong to the API team. You see the team. These are created because when you are creating a team, you selected the checkbox, create an area with the name of the team itself. That's the reason these are available. Okay. And on the top, you can see some, note here. The project is currently using the Scrum process. If you want to customize any one of your work items, go and change it. That's what it is saying. Customization of work item means So you have a number of fields in your work item window, right? So let's go back and see here. Sorry, boards. When you open any one of these work items, you have a number of fields here. This is a UI, right? You can change this UI as well. And you can change the drop down values as well. Let us say here, not here. You can change these values as well. These are all workflows. So that's the customization. We will do the customization as part of this one as well. And this is purely the task of administrator, you, okay, or a DevOps engineer, I would say. And this customization will be used mostly in the complex, bigger organization where they need a complex stuff, okay. Let's go to again project settings. We done the teams, we done the project configuration in terms of setting up the dates for your sprints. And you also have the areas, you are good. And what next you have? The team configuration, right? So what is this team configuration? So for project configuration, we said, okay, these are the number of sprints and the sprints will start on this day and on this day, and the area was we set up. What is a team configuration? Team configuration, how the team work. So you see, the team working days are Monday to Friday. You can set the working days. The reason people give it in some countries like Saudi, for them, Friday is a holiday. Okay. Likewise, in many countries, let us say if you take Sweden, I guess, for them or Finland, they have 4 working days, I guess. So they can configure this, the working days. Okay, that is one thing. And these are the backlog navigation levels. We will show it. What is this navigation? It's just for visualization purpose. And working with bugs. And initially I shown here, right, in one of this here. Where do you want to maintain your bugs? Do you want to attach your bug to the product backlog or task? That's what uh, you have here. You can basically configure. Bugs are maintained with work items. Bugs are maintained with tasks. Bugs are not maintained in backlogs and boards. I'm mentioning bugs are managed with the requirement. That means product backlog item. Okay. I given that synonyms, right? Requirement, work item, product backlog, user story, all are same synonyms. Okay. So that's called the team configuration. If you want to change it, you can change it. And now come to the iterations. In the iterations, default iteration, backlog iteration, etc. And in the bottom, you have a number of iterations. You see, these are all the iterations set, like sprints, what you configure in the sprint. Sprint 1, 2, 3. It is giving a fully, the full path. And you set the dates for this one. Okay. Now, it is very important you observe this. At the team on the top, you see the breadcrumb, right? And the team configuration you are in. And you are seeing all this information for a team called online travel booking app team. Let's not use this. We created our own team, right? I would say take .NET. For this .NET team, we don't have these iterations selected. Okay. And for online travel booking team, because this is the default team when we created it. For these guys, it is been selected, but I don't have any team called online travel booking app team. So you understand my words. API development team. For these guys also, iterations are not specified. Means sprints are not specified. What is this? Okay, let me explain. In any team, in any application development, you will have a number of teams, right? As I said, testers, DB developers, and programming language, .NET developers or Java developers, and then DevOps engineers. Okay. When you start a project, do you need all these people from day one? No, right? Because if you take all these people from the day one, you are increasing the cost. So what happens when any project is started? Only it starts with a project manager and basically business analyst. Once the requirements are available, let us say product backlog item is available, they will take the development teams and the basically the development teams and testers. Okay, they will start with few. Okay, So for the sprint one, you will have the dev team and sprint test team. When it comes to the sprint two, probably you will add another team as well. Probably a DevOps. I mean, DevOps engineer will be there. Probably some security team, security testing team, or some other infra team. Likewise, you will have a number of teams. Okay, who are coming at the different stages of your development. So few people come at a sprint one, few people come at sprint two. For that reason, we have this iteration configuration. Right now, I have a API development team. I did not mention in which sprint they will come to my team. And I did not do for any one of my teams. Only for the default team that is created, it's been done. Okay, there is a catch here. Okay, but you remember, these are very important for the tracking purpose. Which team started in which sprint in your application development. That will tie back to some other automated features in this backlog. I'm not going to do this work now. I'm not going to map these teams to any sprints now. We'll do it on Monday. But for the time being, what we do, we go back to the okay. We have the teams and we have the configuration. Let's add a member now, because you need a members, right? Team members to your team. How do you add a member? Your project means it is nothing but you need to give access to the team members as a DevOps engineer, because you are doing the administration of this DevOps. How do you add it? So first, the team member, be it a developer or tester, has to be part of your organization. That means you have to go to the organization settings. For that, click on this online travel. This is the organization name on the top. And when you come to the home page of your organization homepage, on the bottom you have the organization settings. And now, hey, somebody asked what is this privacy URL? I think yesterday somebody asked. I just looked at it. This is related to your terms and conditions on any page. So on any website you see terms and conditions, right? Since that is a web page, they will mention it as a hyperlink at the bottom of the page. Okay, even for DevOps also, you can mention the terms and conditions. Okay, this is because of the GDPR rules that are enforced by European government and UK government. Okay, so what people do, they will have a set of data privacy laws in a HTML page, which is a link. That link will be given here. That's called privacy rule. That is, other than that, it doesn't have any other. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Now
Puneet.
let's.
That was
Okay.
the first time today. Okay.
Okay. So now let's go to the users. Let's go and add the users to your project. In order to give access to your project, they have to be part of your organization. Okay. Let's go and click on add users. So here, if your Azure DevOps is integrated with Active Directory, when you search for users, it will fetch the users from the Active Directory and it will be displayed here. Since I'm not part of any Active Directory, I have to give individual accounts. Okay, guys, you have to use your Hotmail account or Live account or Outlook account, which comes from Microsoft only. If you use Gmail or something, it will not work. So the bottom line here is, it has to be your business email account. Like it can be your business email, means it can be organization account, email account. So let us say I have dev2prod.com, right? I can use it as a user here, because it's not a public email, it's a business email. Public email means Hotmail, Gmail, Rediff, all these things are public. You cannot use them. So you have to use a Hotmail. If you want, any one of you are having Hotmail account, you can tell me. I will add it, or else I will add it my own. So I'm adding. I have another account, punacc@hotmail.com. Add users. And what is the access level for this user? There are 3 levels: basic, stakeholder, Visual Studio subscriber. For this time being, I'm saying basics. So I have a slide to explain about it. Okay. So I will be having a number of projects in my organization, right? Right now I have only one project. That's the reason it is displaying. If I have more than one, it will display. I'm saying this person should have access to the online travel booking app. That's it. And then it is showing the permissions as well. So you have project contributors, readers, administrators. Contributors means he can contribute to your project, means he can add the requirements, read the requirements, he can do the development, he can add the code, etc. All that stuff. Administrator, he can do the addition, removal of users as well. I mean, additional, right? Readers means it's a read only view. He cannot do anything. Just say project contributors, and it will send an email invite to the user. Nice. Let's go and add it. Done. So this is the first step to give access to a user. Now the person is part of your organization and he is being added to your project as well, online booking app. Now go to the project settings. Go click on the project. Go to the project settings. Now go to the teams. Under teams, I want this person to be part of my .NET development team. Let's click on this .NET group. Now add this person here. Click on add. Purna acc@hotmail.com. You see now? Now, so Purna K is Hasura 86, Purna ACC is Purna @hotmail. Now I added a user first at organization level, and at the organization level, I added access to the online booking app. At the project level, again, my permissions are different. So I added this person to the .NET group, .NET team. That's how you add a user to your project and keep him part of some team. Okay. Similarly, you can do it for a number of users as well. Okay. Now I have my sprints ready, teams ready, and within the team, I have my members as well. Now the next step is the sprint planning. This is a sprint planning, right? Guys, that's it for today, because if I continue this one, it will take another 1.5 hours. So I will not, I don't like to burden with a hell lot of information. So we'll start it Monday with the sprint planning, and we'll do the other configurations. Okay. By the end of this course, you will become an expert in your Scrum methodology as well, along with the automation of your requirements management. And you will act as a project lead as well if you want. Okay, because I cover each and everything, including the reports. Any doubts? We are in the first phase. So many people think that DevOps means CI/CD. It's not just CI/CD, because I already gave you the picture, end-to-end DevOps. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Purna.
Yeah, I'm good for the day. I don't want to explain.
Tomorrow and
more.
after tomorrow, both are all day.
Yes, only Monday to Friday.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Thank you, Purna.
Yeah, no problem.
Purna, are the videos being shared on any YouTube channel?
Yes, now I mentioned, right? Actually, my existing subscription expired for a portal. Okay. I am going to set that up this weekend. I will upload the videos and I will give you access to your emails. Okay. You can log in and see. Okay. Just give me 2 days. By Monday, all these will be available to you.
Sure, Purna.
Okay. Any doubts, Sahul?
No dear.
Okay. So whatever I am telling is must and should things for your day-to-day development activities, or for that certification, for that sake. And it will make you to travel in multiple directions. You can work as a lead, or project lead, or a dev engineer, or dev lead, DevOps lead, etc. Okay. But the concepts are very important, because if you go to your project, right, this is a tool, right? Anyone can go and do all these things, because it's all about data entry and clicking on next. Okay, this is not important. The important thing is a concept and how the concepts will work. Okay, that's what you need to understand. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend. We'll catch you on Monday. The same link will be used. Okay.
Sure.
Thank
No,
you.
one more
Thank
thing.
you.
One more thing.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah. It's a, I mean, suggestion. I mean, would you recommend us to go through any articles before getting into for the next section?
No, I don't expect you to go through, because if you go again, what they will tell. So I explained it for 1 hour. There will be 20-30 pages for this one, and that will be, each page will have another hyperlink which you don't understand. Okay, if you have to refer to the any documentation, then you are not required to join the session, because the whole intention of joining any training session is quickly learn it with all the concepts and the real-time examples, right? So I don't suggest. Whenever it is required, I definitely tell you for more information. But we are covering each and every bit of either Azure boards or even other areas as well. If you want to cross-check what I suggest, you can go and read. Whatever explained will be there in the documentation. And in fact, we are explaining more because we explain with the concepts, right?
All right, Guru. Thanks.
Yeah. Only thing I suggest is from next week, you start practicing it. Otherwise, you will forget. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a good day and good weekend.
Thank you,
We'll
dear.
catch up on Monday.
See you on Monday.